Aloha, my kako. This is Oracle of the Golden Spiral. Today we're here at the new moon in Virgo. As we're in Virgo season, we're going to be going from Virgo through Leo. I generally prefer to read at the time of the energy for moon cycle readings because, as we know, energies can change. Okay, so here we go. Virgo through Leo. Virgo, what do we have for Virgo during this new moon? What is the energy for Virgo, please? Virgo, new moon energy. Okay. You have ecstasis, number 2. And the feline, number 65. Okay, Virgo. This is asking you, there has been a inspiration, a muse that has been brought to you. You got a glimpse of what the song of the universe holds. And in that, you got inspiration to go ahead and to create something. Some of you may have left this inspiration back a ways. Some of you may have been working on this inspiration throughout time, and maybe in the past few days or weeks, you've kind of had a lull in energy as far as that's concerned. But the feline is here to talk to you about that unfinished business, about promises that were unkept, and it is demanding that you finish whatever this project or idea or inspiration is. I think because it is so aligned with the song of the universe and with your own personal soul, it's important, and the universe is asking you to complete it because only you can complete it the way that you can. You have the filters, we all have our filters on how we see the world, and you have the exact right combination to make this happen and to make it successful. I'm not sure why it's been pushed to the wayside, but it seems as if it has, and so you're being called upon right now to use this new moon to reignite that passion, to be to find that spark again so that you're able to carry it through to its finality and to its finish line. Okay, I think that's what we have for you, Virgo. Happy birthday to all the Virgos out there, and thank you for sharing your energy and your time with us. Okay, moving on to Libra. What do we have for Libra during this new moon? What is the energy for Libra, please? Libra, new moon energy. Libra, this is going to relate back a little bit to your full moon in Aquarius reading from a couple weeks ago. You have She of the Karak, number 5, and number 61, G Hobjab. Okay, so She of the Karak is the yin energy of the universe. So calling in things to us, allowing, receiving, it's that receptive, nurturing fertility that is really in all of us. But it seems that it's at the forefront for you this month, Libra. In combination with Jihab, he tells us that there are imaginary fears going on within you, and that determining what those imaginary fears are and what are actual pitfalls are going to be important. I think in your last reading, we were trying to close out energy that we were also using, it seems as if the yin component is very, very ingrained in your experience right now. And so you are calling in, essentially you're manifesting through calling in. And we talked a little bit about, funny enough, we talked a little bit about wushu and, you know, but understanding that you are calling in, you are highly adept at manifesting right now, and you're calling in and being receptive to the things that you are choosing. And so we could be calling in, again, it's a very similar message about calling in that which are your imaginary fears and bringing them to life. And I think that perhaps at the new moon, what this energy that's presenting itself is the universe is asking you to take a look at what you be discerning about what thoughts and what thought patterns you have, so that you are calling in what you'd like to see instead of manifesting, you know, the opposite. So for example, instead of saying, I'm just going to use this as an example, it's very simple, but instead of saying, I don't know if I can do this, just simply saying, I'm going to do this to the best of my ability. It's really the same thing if you dig down into it, but it is absolutely different when we are in a level of high receptivity in calling in and bringing in energy. So Libra, that's what I have for you. Maybe taking some time to figure out what are actual pitfalls will help you steer clear of those. And then just maybe setting the intention to manifest from a place of can instead of internal fears and things that hold you back. Okay, Libra, thank you for sharing your time and your energy with us. I wish you all the best. And now we'll go ahead and we will move on to Scorpio. What do we have for Scorpio during this new moon? What is the energy for Scorpio, please? Scorpio new moon energy. Okay. Scorpio, you have She of the Kurak, number 5. Libra just got this as well. So if you have Libra in your chart, you can go back to the Libra reading. You also have the Glen Conner, number 62. This is very similar to Libra's reading in that She of the Kurak is yin. It's yin energy. It's receptive, it's nurturing, and it's all about that fertility. But it speaks to being powerful in manifestation and calling in things to you, because you are receptive and open to receiving. And when you call in, and it's flowing like this, you are in a high level of manifestation and receptivity. The Glanconer talks about projection, delusion, things of that nature. It's like our darkest fears and wild thoughts come to life in our imagination that are so vivid for us. What the Glanconer asks us when it's presented is, who is under this illusion? And the answer is always ourselves. We are the only one that a glamour is being casted, but we're the only ones that are being fooled by it. So again, I think this is very similar to Libra in the aspect of wild thoughts running your manifestation. Those things coming in to being because so much of your energy is being spent on that. So I think it's asking you to go ahead and to try to manifest from a place of positivity. Maybe that is something, the intention that we should be setting on this new moon, to build on changing our internal dialogue. I gave the example previously of, let's see what it was. Why did it escape me? Maybe there's a better one, or one that's specifically designed for you, because I can't seem to bring that back to the forefront of my mind. So, okay, here it is. So instead of saying, I'm not sure if I can do this, changing that dialogue to be, I'm going to do this to the best of my ability. And I think what you'll find is you will surprise yourself in what actually comes towards you, how you're able to, if we're not spending time, this is kind of like a double Eight of Swords energy. It's us that we're restricting. It's us that these illusions and delusions are cast upon. And so if we are manifesting from a positive space, and talking about what we can do with our abilities, I think that you will inevitably surprise yourself, redirecting all of that energy towards towards calling in this way, something that is so much more than you could ever expect it to be. So much more than you expect it to be, instead of expecting and embracing, and I'm sorry, not embracing, embracing for the worst. Okay, sorry for that pause. Scorpio, thank you so much for your time and for sharing your energy with us. I wish you all the best on this new moon in Virgo. Okay, let's see. Next is Sagittarius. What do we have for Sagittarius during this new moon? What is the energy for Sagittarius, please? Sagittarius, new moon in Virgo. Okay. Sagittarius, you have Oh That Gnome, number 26, and Lace, the Moon's Daughter, number 38. Okay. What's really great about Oh That Gnome is that there is good from misfortune. It is the constructive, creative chaos of our lives. And what that really helps us do is break patterns. Lace is really about symbolisms, dreams, riddles, things of this nature. It's inherent in it is our psychic understanding, these things that come to us in our intuition, or what we think is our intuition. But because they are presented as riddles, sometimes we don't get them absolutely correct. We may think it's one thing when it is another. And so it's really this energy at this new moon is really presenting itself as being able to go ahead and to break those patterns of not trusting ourselves, of thinking, and instead of using and being in that dream state where we're confused with, and there's riddles and you know, that confusion that kind of takes over, and then we don't know which way is up any longer. It really is talking about out of that chaos, finding a moment. There's like a very first time I'm really getting such a grounding effect off of Oh That Gnome. Usually it's light and airy, but I'm getting a little bit more of a grounding effect off of it, and I think that is because we're really, if you can take those moments when we're in that high and kind of floaty, less grounded, dreamy energy, or, you know, sometimes confusion in that nightmarish, dreamy energy. If we can set our foot down, kind of ground, kind of understand and look back and understand and take into account where we've been and what has come about, using that information and that energy in kind of a more constructive way can help you to break those patterns. And that really is kind of what this Virgo new moon is about. So Sagittarius, if you have been feeling upended, if you have been feeling kind of not yourself, if you have been in any states of confusion, or you realize that there's fear-based energy but you're not exactly sure what to do about it, tap into your intuition. The universe with this is telling you you're in exactly the right place to do whatever it is that you need to accomplish, to overcome whatever has been frustrating you or challenging you in the recent past. Okay, Sagittarius, that's what I have for you. I wish you all the best. Thank you for sharing your energy and your time with us. You seem to be if you haven't been feeling it so far, you are right where you need to be to accomplish the things that you want to accomplish. What do we have for, moving on to Capricorn, what do we have for Capricorn during this new moon? What is the energy for Capricorn, please? Capricorn, new moon in Virgo energy. Okay, Capricorn, you have the Piper, number 24, and Micolamakul, number 49. Do you hear that bird? Oh my goodness. The mountain doves are going crazy right now. Or at least one of them is. Okay, so it's kind of adorable. All right, the Piper, number 24, and Micolamakul, number 49. Okay, Capricorn, the Piper is about persuasion, about harmony and gentleness. This bird is like for real. Was it going on before and I just never noticed it? Goodness. Okay, so Micolamakul is asking us to lighten up. It's asking us to have an open and more childlike heart. I'm thinking of a friend that I have. Oh my gosh. And her mom feeds all the doves and mountain doves. How amazing. Okay, well, I'm thinking of someone who's going through a hard time, and perhaps this is exactly what she needs, to just be able to have a little bit of positivity and excitement, and soul rest during the day. Oh my goodness, with the birds. Okay, so it's really talking about perhaps your energy at this full moon, and perhaps you're someone who works a lot, who puts a lot of effort into it, who, I personally understand this. I work 8 days a week. I'm trying to take today off because it is Labor Day and also the new moon, so I can do this for you folks. But sometimes what ends up happening is we're overwhelmed by all of that. It's a constant continuation, and while it, quote unquote, pays the bills and definitely gives us something to, something in the way of work and accomplishment, sometimes we need that relief. And so perhaps it's talking about, I didn't finish my thought there, I'm sorry. And sometimes we get a little bit jaded and a little bit frustrated and a little bit into the mechanics of it, the cold, dry mechanics of it, and I know personally I get frustrated with people like, why can't they just answer the question? Or why, and it's simple to answer the question. Let's move along because we have a lot to do and a long road to go to finish this project, right? But I think it is talking about how, kindness, gentleness, and that simple act of that softer act of persuasion versus intense demands are really the way to go in any project or any situation that you're facing right now. It's about lightening up and kind of making it easier for all people involved to carry the load. And I think that this is a great representation of more bees with honey than vinegar. Perhaps at this new moon, this can be your intention to move forward in that way, so that everything that you're working on, or even in, you know, whether it be personal or romantic relationships, you are able to reach. You're Capricorn. We're gonna reach the, you know, end result, the desired result, through come hell or high water. But I think that is the point, is that we're gonna get there. So the more fun and the more you can make that experience positive and something that people want to experience, the road to that end result will be greater and happier and much more well received. Okay, Capricorn, that is what I have for you for this new moon in Virgo. Thank you for sharing your energy and your time with us, and I wish you all the best. Okay, next will be Aquarius. What do we have for Aquarius during this new moon? What is the energy for Aquarius, please? Aquarius, new moon energy. Okay. We have the Singer of Transfiguration, number 11, and the Friends, number 46. Okay. This is one of my favorite cards, Aquarius, in this entire oracle. The Singer of Transfiguration talks about two of Aaron's most favorite topics. One being grace, because once you see color, you can never go back. And that is the definition of grace. Seeing things in a whole new way. That is my definition of grace. And so inherent in that is irrevocable change. It's our new lens we see the world with. It is this bright, beautiful glow that now adds so much depth in a way that helps us look at the world differently. It's a new filter. Whatever this new knowledge or this change or this grace is that you're receiving, it helps you see the world in a whole new way. And I think for you, Aquarius, at this time, it is really talking about the reciprocal energy between you and others, and which this talks about the true meaning of friendship. Not being transactional, but being reciprocal. Not necessarily giving to get, but to understand the underlying, which is in true friendship that doesn't end, it all evens out in the end. If we are both in it, if we are all concerned with everyone's best, then in the end, it all evens out. These two couldn't be more different, and yet, you know, understanding that while we have different approaches, that true underlying care and friendship, maybe that's the grace. Maybe that's what you're saying. It has a lot, these two, it has a lot to do with that. Perhaps a friend, maybe this just happened, or maybe it's about to happen, but maybe someone shows you friendship in a way that you've never seen it before. And that in turn changes your perceptions of the world in general. Or maybe during this new moon period, you're going to be called upon to unconditionally support or provide for a friend in a way you haven't before. And in that act, you are able to connect with this person in a way that or it could be a group of people too, but in a way that you haven't before. And what comes of that changes you and your outlook and your filters forever. This is beautiful. I'm not doing it justice by how I'm explaining it. I'm sorry, I'm trying to find like the right words and it's just not working. Maybe that has something to do with it. You know, often when people go through hard things, they're not really looking for people to go ahead and to say the right thing all the time. They're just looking for them to be there, or to listen, or to even just, I think, being there when you, to further that thought, just being there and holding space for someone when you know that, okay, let's say you're the person that needs the support. Having somebody there, just there with you, holding space for you, means a lot. And especially more when you know that they're so uncomfortable because they don't know what to say and all they want to do is take, you know, to be able to help or to be able to say the right thing. And so that may come into play for you at this time, Aquarius. On a very superficial level, I am getting another message, which is a lot later. On a more superficial level, some of your relationships you may find out that actually you all are just really good friends, like just really connected, unconditional loving friends. And you may find out that the romance part of the relationship is not necessarily what is the most powerful part of the relationship, or maybe the romance part isn't there at all. Okay, Aquarius, that is those are the messages that I have for you at this new moon in Virgo. Thank you so much for sharing your time and your energy with us, and I wish you all the best. Okay, moving on to Pisces. What do we have for Pisces during this Virgo new moon? What is the energy for Pisces, please? Pisces. New moon energy. Ooh. Okay. Pisces, you have the Topsy-Turvets, number 51, and number 0, Fairy Guide. Okay, in this oracle, this card is left intentionally blank, like a page ripped out of a book, and it's for any of your, for whoever owns this deck to be able to create their own fairy, complete with energy and understanding of that. I have left it blank for you folks because my intent is that this, because it is supposed to be that deck owner's direct communication with the universe, I have just decided that it's blank because I am reading for you, and this is your direct connection with the universe. So 0, that is what it stands for in my intentions. So together, these two cards, again, number 51, the Topsy-Turvets, and the Fairy Guide 0, are really talking about a change in your viewpoint, being able to have a fresh perspective. So perhaps you've been given some insight from the universe. Perhaps you're seeing recurring numbers. Perhaps maybe that doesn't happen to you. You know, Pisces are very receptive. And so you can have lived your whole life with perceptions and just, it's just part of you. And I think that maybe, you know, recently there's been a uptick in your intuition. Maybe you're seeing repeating numbers. Maybe the signs are loud and clear. Take a look at what that is presenting to you. What does it mean for you, and where are these, you know, communications and signs leading you? It seems as if it has changed recently or will start to change or increase. But what I think it's going to be different for each of you, but what it's really here for is to guide you to that new, fresh perspective. If you've been in the doldrums, if you've been in a place where cycles just seem to be repeating, or there's just, I'm getting the word lift off. There's just no lift off with certain things that you're accomplishing, or relationships with people, or it's just, there's just been a very stagnant, I'm getting dullness, like a dullness to it all. I think that asking for the fresh perspective, if you aren't receiving it, is going to be key to, you know, having future success in those matters. It sounds so vague, but I mean, it really is going to be different for each of you. Whether it's at work, a project, your love life, your family, whatever has been kind of old and gray, cold and lame. I don't know. This portends to a new spark, and it will come to you through your intuition. It's kind of exciting, Pisces. Okay, that is what I have for you. Pisces, thank you so much for sharing your time and your energy with us all. I wish you all the best during this new moon in Virgo. Next up is going to be Aries. Oh, sorry. Yeah, let's give that one more shuffle. I think the energy is picking up, Pisces. I can feel it. But now we are working on Aries. What do we have for Aries during this new moon? What is the energy for Aries, please? Aries, energy for new moon in Virgo. Okay, Aries, we have undressing of a salad, number 31, and Taten the Sylph, number 45. Okay. Outcomes are unpredictable, Aries. I'm sure we all came here for a little bit more solidity, a little bit more in the way of concrete answers, but undressing of a salad talks about that. It talks about impossibilities. So really, outcomes right now are unpredictable, but it's about keeping a cool head through that. And Taten the Sylph is really here to remind you about discernment. I feel like it's going within to determine what that discernment is. It's like awakening to discernment, and then utilizing that, trusting. It's about trust. It's about trusting yourself to stay cool, calm, and collected, because we anticipate that there are impossibilities and that we don't know what the outcome is. Handing it over to the universe and trusting that it will be what it's meant to be, but also trusting yourself and understanding that you have within you what it takes to choose and to facilitate that which you can choose when it comes to this outcome. All of these balls are in motion, and at any point one of them can drop, but trusting you'll know what to do about that, and trusting that whatever happens, sound like such a trite tarot readings by Erin, that it is for our highest good. I would caution right now, Aries, it feels like you have a lot on your plate. Much of it can be mental spin, which affect, I'm getting this mental spin and connection to emotion. So really, it can feel unnerving and ungrounding. It can feel, there's a panicky aspect to that, but it's dulled down by this sedative emotion. I want to say sulkiness, but it's not sulkiness. It's sedated emotion. It's dulled down. The fear is dulled down by the sedated emotions. Yeah, it really feels like now is the time for big trust on your part. Trust yourself. Trust that what is good for you will be what is presented. And I will say, rejection is protection, right? So let's see. Aries, let me get you. What is the guidance for Aries, please? Thank you for the energy. What is the guidance for Aries, please? What can you offer as guidance for Aries, please? Guidance for Aries. Last shuffle, I'm going to take from the middle of the deck. Your guidance is Town the Poet, number 29. And Town the Poet asks us to be poetic, to find the right words that stir the right emotions. I think that's beautiful. That's poetic within itself. Aries, whether you're talking to someone else, whatever this situation is about, whether you're talking to someone else, but even more importantly, if you're speaking to yourself, formulating just the right words to address the situation, to engender some excitement and I don't know, beauty and an enigmatic love, right? Finding those exact words to create those feelings, whether for another, but like I said, more importantly for yourself. You're gonna get through this and it's going to be great. Okay, Aries, thank you so much for your time and your energy. I wish you all the best during this new moon in Virgo. I get that undressing of the salad all the time in my readings. There's so much that, you know, in life we just can't control. Things are always up in the air. Outcomes are very unpredictable so much of the time. And it may be my own power struggle, my own power dynamic that, you know, brings that out for me in my readings. Okay, now we are going to be moving on to Taurus. What do we have for Taurus during this new moon? What is the energy for Taurus, please, for this Virgo new moon? Okay. Oh, Town the Poet and It'll Be the Retriever. This is such beautiful energy. Okay. This may have to do a lot with romantic love. If not, it is the type of friendship that I talked about a little bit in the Aquarius reading. That friendship if it's not love, it is that loyalty and that friendship that it's just unconditional, life-changing and unconditional. So again, Town the Poet, number 29, and It'll Be the Retriever, number 41. We just talked a little bit about Town the Poet and the energy he brings, right? It's that, as guidance, it wasn't quite so erotic mischief, but yeah, it's really about, this is like a great balance. If this is a relationship thing, Taurus, this is about the right balance of like sexy and stable, the right balance of passionate engagement, a little bit of sassy, passionate engagement, and also loyalty, right? This is about being loyal. If it's not about relationship, this is about being loyal to your dreams, and approaching them with every, having that inner dialogue with yourself, with the right motivating words, the exact right way to create that, to create and to continue that spark and that excitement in whatever it is that you are giving your all to your dreams for. What, does that make sense? I don't know. Sorry, it's slightly distracted and all. But really, yeah. It's like when you set out an organization, when it sets out, it creates a mission statement, right? It's like, that is such a so basic example of what I'm talking about here. This is so much deeper than that, but really that's what it is. It's like, how do you keep that engine? You're the engine that could, because this is about your dreams and about manifesting them to fulfillment, being incredibly loyal to that dream, right? We're gonna fetch the pearl. We're gonna fetch the pearl. Like, there is nothing else on our mind than that. But it's this synergy of believing it's true, and two, speaking to ourselves, whether at the highs or lows, right? If it's a business, if you're building a business, there's the business cycle, but at the highs or the lows, continuing to charm our thoughts and patterns so that we're able to keep that engine going, to continue to bring that, to keep chugging along, to keep heading towards that goal. This is beautiful, Taurus. I'm probably not doing it justice. I hope that you out there are understanding where I'm going with that. It's slightly esoteric, but it's incredibly, it's hard sometimes to be able to put words to the feelings that you get. So thank you for being patient with me. I am not Tom the poet. It's like the irony of it all. Little joke from the universe to me. So, but if you can think about that, restoking your fire. Yes, that's what it is. Conversing with yourself in just the right way to stoke the fire, to be able to manifest that dream, it has a lot to do with that loyalty to that dream. You will succeed, Taurus. Thank you so much for spending your time with us and sharing your energy. Taurus, I am wishing you all the best. Okay, we are now on Gemini. What do we have for Gemini during this new moon, please? What is the energy for Gemini, please? Oh, I'm doing a lot of stuff here. Gemini, new moon energy. Okay. Oh, wow. Gemini, you have Singer of the Chalice, number 12, and the Singer of Initiation, number 9. Okay, the Singer of the Chalice talks to us about joyful, loving willingness. It's that unconditional trust, whether of a person or of life or circumstances. It is understanding, knowing, and loving of everything. Of yourself. It's about high vibrational emotion and there's a certain underlying understanding of radiating that out into the world. But that being paired with the singer of initiation, during any initiation, right? Initiation is always a test. There's a test going on. It's triumph through trial. It feels, Gemini, like you are having to trust it feels like you're opening up. There are uncomfortable emotions. It feels like new territory. But I think that you are opening up to that, being able, knowing and being willing to engage and to deal with those emotions. And it's not just privately, there's some interplay with you and someone else in this, because otherwise it wouldn't be difficult. There would be no trial, there would be no test. I think there's a new dynamic that you are uncomfortable with, but that you're learning how to trust, that you're learning how to how do I put that? You're learning how to trust, and you're being willing to face it even though it's uncomfortable. It's like you've got, it's so airy and watery, but it's like there's a get up and go in it. Like maybe this has been put on the back burner for a while, and perhaps this time in Virgo, when we're really looking at our, our routines and the way that we understand and exist in this world, maybe you've determined that it's time to face these things. And Gemini, just know that the more willingness that you bring to it, the more understanding, the greater the triumph is going to be. It's not bravery if we're not afraid. But you will succeed. Okay, Gemini, thank you so much for sharing your time and your energy with us. I wish you all the best during this new moon in Virgo. Next up is Cancer. What do we have for Cancer during this new moon, please? What is the energy for Cancer during this new moon. Cancer, for the new moon energy, please. Okay, you have number 26, Oh That Gnome, and NT, number 63. Not sure I've ever had this combination before, Cancer. Let's see, give me a second. Okay. It feels like this is the missing, this is kind of like the missing energy from the Gemini reading before, where we are ready to face something. The time is now, whatever this means for you. Something, like I said, I was getting this energy in the Gemini reading. Something has been put on the back burner. The time is now to make a decision. Indy, though, reminds us that help is all around us. And we have the ability to break patterns and to be constructive and to build from the chaos. And it may take reaching out to those around us. I keep getting a friend in need is a friend indeed. Oh, I know it was like a Jungle Book thing. It is, I guess it's just a saying. First I got Winnie the Pooh, and then I got the Jungle Book. I don't know why this is coming up, but perhaps that means something to you. Look around. There are those, the time to deal with it is now, but there are those around you who are there. You have all of the help and the guidance you need around you. And for this reading, I'm getting a little bit of a Five of Pentacles energy, but not necessarily like, you know, what everyone says as far as like poverty. It's more of a the resources that you need are around you. Look around, and in being resourceful, you will gather together everything that it is that you need to face or to accomplish good from whatever misfortune you've been kind of sticking on the back burner. I believe it was at the last, yeah, it was at the video is called Another Full Moon in Aquarius. It's so funny because this energy is present but demure compared to, I think it was you and Gemini that were kind of linked last time. Did you guys get exactly the same thing? I think you guys, two of the signs, I think it was Gemini and Cancer, got exactly the same thing, and there was like this, like, it was the roar, and there was this incredibly intense building energy that was happening. And this is so, there's like this underlying complacency in this, which is why Indy is here telling you that the time to deal with it is now. So it's just interesting. I'd be interested if you can leave me a comment if you were at that reading and then this one, and you're a Gemini or a Cancer. If you can leave me a comment on how we go from so much energy to this like base complacency. I would love to know that. But just realize that, like I said before, you have your resources. You're gonna overcome this, and you will be able to, you know, oh, that gnome is about breaking patterns and good from misfortune. So good things are coming. Set those intentions for your new moon. Okay, Cancer, thank you so much for your time and spending this time with us and for sharing your energy, and I wish you all the best. Okay, Leo, last but not least, Leo. What do you have for Leo during this new moon? What is the energy for Leo, please? Leo, new moon energy. Okay. Leo, you have Penelope Dreamweaver, number 28, and Jihab Jab, 61. Penelope Dreamweaver asks us, well, she tells us that out of the day-to-day, we are going to find a random inspiration. She breaks through the normal of our day. That is Virgo. That is new moon in Virgo, huh? Taking a look at patterns and that type of thing. What are our daily routines? So Penelope Dreamweaver brings that to us in our normal everyday to day, in that which we walk through almost like clockwork. There is in that going to be a random inspiration, and it will have a lot to do with imaginary fears and pitfalls. If you are a Libra, I think there's one other sign as well, but I do know that this was in Libra's reading. I really feel like, even though she's not here, that Titan the Self is close, because it feels as if we are going to see something or hear something. Something's going to be presented to us so that we are able to, so that we're awakened to the discernment of what are our imaginary fears and what are actual pitfalls. It's not present here as well, but it's like trusting yourself. Who was the last time I was talking to? You may, oh, I wish I knew. But knowing what those, being able to discern the difference between the two is what he asks us to do. I'm gonna get one more because I feel like this is not a completed thought. Generally the energy picks up towards the end of the readings. But with that last Cancer reading, I feel like I just fell off a cliff and I need a little bit to get back up. Sorry, guys. Okay, so this is the Lady of the Harvest. So let's see. Lady of the Harvest, number 18. This is about release and liberation. Oh my goodness. Okay. This just happened to me yesterday. It was late Saturday night. It's now Monday. Oh, I know how this relates in my life, Leo, and I wish this for you. There may be something that has been going on since about 2018. maybe for the past 2 to 3 years, it's been a mystery. It was something in your life that was there all the time, and then at a drop of a hat, it wasn't. And you've set new intentions as you like walk through this world, because you didn't think you could walk through this world without that being in your life every day, and yet you have. There's a sense of confusion or trauma surrounding whatever this is for you, and you are finally going to understand beyond. You've always known. In fact, you may have been like me and told people, even though you didn't have, I was 99.5% sure, but I didn't have that last final 5% so that it could change from Erin's opinion to fact. I didn't have that. And I think you're going to be getting yours may be, it may be so different from what I went through, but you're going to be getting those answers. That harvest is coming in for you. There is something underlying in this. It doesn't really relate to my situation, but now it's asking me to move back to Penelope Dreamweaver. And in that, I get this sinking feeling. I am so excited by what has happened for me in the past 2 days. It's like a vindication. And so I think that is what it's going to have a lot to do with for you, Leo. The funk that we've been in, this quote unquote vindication, this harvest, this understanding, this, there's like I want to use the word culmination, like to get to this point, a precipice, like this is the harvest, the last pull, the vindication. But they're pulling me back. There's an underlying thing that I want you to understand. If you at any point feel like I was super assured of what happened. If you at any point in looking back on it realize that the signs were there and you think to yourself to beat yourself up over the fact that it was hiding in plain sight, don't. I think that this is why this message is coming through this way for you. The answer may have been in plain sight, and if you did not see it, please do not beat yourself up about it. But you are going to, there's a certain vindication, a certain, we're at the point of change, and that change for you is peace and knowing. And yes, I wish this for you. If this is anything like what happened to me Saturday, I wish this for you. Oh wait, it was the 5th. So, yesterday. Oh, this energy is strong. Leo, you are gonna love this. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you, Leo, for spending that time with us and for sharing your energy. I wish you all the best new moon in Virgo. If you found that you enjoyed this reading, please press the like button. I will see you. Last time I promised I would do the get back to doing the individual sign readings, even though nobody watches me for that. I will get back to the individual sign readings. You should be seeing those coming out this week. Mahalo nui. Yeah. just thank you. Thank you for this. Thank you for your time. And hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Mahalo.